Welcome y'all to the Dave DY Show, another installment. This one's going to be trendy and fun. So I've been thinking about it, and I want to do something that maybe appeals to some of the folks that are actually on their computers watching YouTube, watching the internet, looking at Instagram, looking at Twitter, blah, 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 right? And I know what I like to do, and that's fine, but I want to do stuff that the audience, or any audience, might want to do. So the first thing that I thought of was YouTube challenges. Challenges. YouTube challenges. Have you done any YouTube challenges? I have two boys, 18 and 15, 17 and 14, almost 18 and 15. One of them does all the YouTube challenges. We've caught them down here at 2 in the morning. That's what they do. They're in the garage. They're doing whatever. Some of these challenges, as you know, get insane, crazy, like kooky. Like, if you recall years ago, it hasn't happened for a while, there was the ice bucket challenge, and all the stars did it. You get this giant ice bucket of water, and you dump it on yourself. And you'd film the reaction. Whatever. Okay. And then it got crazy. People started looking at the Tide Pods. Remember your Tide Pods? I got them upstairs. I don't think it's Tide Pods. No, I don't have Tide Pods. You know what? I use liquids in my wash machine. The wash machine that I had prior, it was that non-tumbler agitator. It doesn't have the arm in the middle. And it just sort of moves the water around with the inner body of the machine. The new washers, they're the new age washers, right? The old ones, still you throw the Tide Pod little capsule in. And the capsule has different pieces on it of different color because they're different chemicals. A fabric softener, a stain remover, a generic cleaner, one that has scent, right? Well, the Tide Pod challenge was that you were eating. Dude, those are industrial chemicals that supposedly are safe enough for home use, which means they've gone through extensive Food and Drug Administration, FDA, in this country, nowhere else on the planet. Food and Drug Administration analysis, certification, so that you can use them in the home, so that they can appear on the shelves in your grocery store, at your 7-Eleven, at your Quickie Mart, at your corner, whatever, right? But that doesn't mean they're not chemicals that'll kill you. You can't ingest that shit, right? So there were tards on the internet. That's what my sons do. They do the tard thing. It's not cool. It's not politically correct. You can't emulate retarded children. You can't even call them retarded children anymore. They're disabled. They're physically challenged. They have like dogs. They have like care dogs, comfort dogs. Cause they remember when that was funny on the comedy shows? The Wayans brothers, the skinny one. It wasn't Marlon, maybe? No, it was the skinny one with the pigtail. From You Can't Drink Your Kool-Aid, South Central, whatever. Oh, what happened to the Wayans? The Wayans got old. The Wayans got old. Remember Mad TV? And now it's Peel and Key. Peel and Key are killing it. Key and Peel. And Peel just did the Us. And Us, we went and saw it. I should do a movie review on Us because it's awesome. It's pretty good. The guy he's a single parent. His father disappeared. New York City, maybe Bronx kid. He's very smart, and he is writing up some awesome material. Has been for a long, long time. And Key and Peele did all their comedy sketches, of which they have multi-million on the internet. If you look at YouTube, Key and Peele, look at it. Shout out to Key and Peele. Shout out to Key and Peele. And some of them are pretty funny, but they're all black related. And he is a black New Yorker. And he's recently stated he would never cast a white person as the lead in his movies. So he's making statements in how he works. And I guess it's allowed. Blacks have been oppressed for however long, so now they have their freedoms, and it's cool. I like watching Key and Peele, and I think he's a funny dude. I wish race had nothing to do with it, but race always has something to do with it. Birds of a feather flock together. I mean, come on. Like, hang with like. Race, no different. So anyway, I moved on. Remember the Tide Pod challenge? You'd eat the Tide Pods, and everybody got hurt, and they burned. There's chemical burns in people's mouths, and their esophagus, on their tongues, on their lip, on their face. They're chemicals, you can't eat them. So you had the stupid ice bucket challenge, relatively harmless, right? Until somebody got electrocuted or drowned or something. Uh-oh, here's Lippy! Lippy! Hi, Lippy. Oh, he's limping around, man. I gotta get that fixed. I'm giving her chewies. And then they moved on to the Tide Pod challenge. And then one of them on here, and I will bring it up here, I think Trevor and his friends have done. But one of the challenges right now that's going around is It's Not My Hands challenge. So you have someone stand behind you, and they are your arms and your hands, and it's not your own. They put their arms under your arms, and then you film it, right? And they have to do the things that you would do as if you were gesticulating, or if you're cooking, or if you're putting your hat on, or if you're doing any activity, and you film it very quickly, put it up on YouTube, and it's so funny! Not My Hands challenge. That seems to be one of the trending challenges these days, the Not My Hands challenge, right? And a lot of kids and a lot of adults are doing that, the Not My Hands. And some of them are very creative and very funny, because when you're doing things and you've got your hands behind your back and someone else comes and does it, it's quite humorous if you do it well. Like if I could do Ricky's dog feet. Not my dog feet, right? So that's what's going on there, the Not My Hands challenge. There's also the 100 layer challenge. So apparently you can put on 100 layers of makeup, 100 layers of some material, 100 layers of clothes, 100 layers of whatever. And there's a challenge. Somebody painted their face with glue, so clearly it takes time to do a silly challenge like that. The Not My Hands challenge, you can do a 5-second, 10-second, 20-second, minute video of somebody with their hands underneath you, their arms and hands doing things. Hey, Not My Hands challenge, right? And it's funny. 100 layer challenge takes more time to do that. So who's gonna do that? I don't know, but there's people that seem to be very bored, that have a lot of time, that will make YouTube videos doing 100 layers of something. 100 layers on a 7-layer taco dip. Could you imagine a 100-layer taco dip? You'd need like a tortilla chip shovel. Because 100 layers would be, I don't know, maybe they were really thin. Anyway, so I haven't seen a lot of those, but it seems like people put on a lot of clothes and they're really puffy. Yeah, and that can be funny. I think anything, if you spend a minute and are creative and maybe plan it out or think it through, and maybe you have a flair or you're unique or whatever, you can do a challenge, you can do some kind of film, you can do something thoughtful to the audience, and it's interesting. So it doesn't need to be a challenge, it can be anything. So think about that one. There's the yoga challenge. So you and a friend do a yoga pose. And if you haven't watched YouTube, holy cow! There's a million yoga shows, and most of them are scantily clad women who do yoga poses and then show all their shit, right? And you're like, what are you doing? I get that you're showing us yoga, but it's almost in the nude. So of course you're gonna get a million hits. And there's a number of those shows out there. I think yoga has some compromising poses to begin with. Your downward dog, tree, whatever, right? All the weird poses. But this challenge I think is a little funnier or unique because you can do it with a friend. So like that person can be your support, or they can hold you to do a pose, or they can assist you, or you can do the same pose together. And that seems pretty cool because as we know, yoga has basic poses like where you lay and you curl like the cobra or whatever the hell they're called, right? You put your hands up and you're laying prone on the floor and you lift up a little, right? And then it's got pretty advanced poses where you only have your hands on the ground, your elbows are supporting your knees or legs, and then like your legs are kicked up in the air. I mean, you can get into some advanced poses in yoga, lotus poses and stuff that are off the ground that are pretty cool. And I don't know if you could do that with a friend, and if you're that good, you might as well just do a yoga show. Namaste. Namaste, right? And give some inner peace. Or do some, I'll tell you what, I've tried yoga. Yoga works. Yoga is definitely a wonderful challenge for your body. It's not going to build you muscle, but it will tone you, it will make you fit, it will burn calories. And it's difficult. You'll sweat and you'll have a workout. You will be healthy. You'll have an elevated heartbeat. Yoga, and then you do the hot yoga, the tantric yoga, whatever, all the yoga forms, which, yeah, I've seen those. I don't know if I do them. They are physical fitness. That's exercise, and there's nothing wrong with that. The yoga that I like to perform is peaceful, and it's for your inner peace, your inner happiness, for mindfulness, where you can focus on breathing, and you can actually bring yourself centered, maybe slow down or stop your brain, right? And I think I've done a couple podcasts on that. I should do another podcast on that. Namaste. Because I think that there's serious power to that, to self-reflection, inner reflection, mindfulness, quiet. And for a lot of years now, we've had Far Eastern methodologies, philosophies, and thought since the 60s, and prior to that, right? But where there were movements where the practices that have gone on in India and Asia for 1,000 years have some kind of impact on our physical, our mental, our emotional well-being. And there's something said to that. Especially when every day of your life you get up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you get the kids ready, you get yourself ready, you shower, shit, and shave, you put your suit on, you drive to work, you sit in traffic to commute, you get to work, you manage your people, you manage your projects, you do your work, you're on the phone, you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with, and then you come home, you prepare dinner, you clean the house, blah, da, 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 right? And it'll kill you. So yoga is awesome, and the yoga challenge sounds like it'd be fun. It sounds like it'd be great. Yoga, namaste. And you do it with a friend, and it could be funny. And I think some of it will be funny because of the positions of your body, having the duality of you and your friend. Maybe you're providing support. I don't think if two dudes did it, it would be as popular as two young women or two girls who are giggly, you know what I mean? Because I think it could sort of get into something like a weird game of Twister. And you don't want that. Maybe you do. It might get lots of hits on the internet. On YouTube! On YouTube! On the YouTube. And maybe that's what you want. But, pretty cool challenge. I think there's the accent fun challenge, where it's really simple, but it's sort of fun, and you can do it in a really small amount of time. You can do it on your phone. And it's simple to have to say some mysterious and stereotypical type of accent like if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, get to the chopper, stick around, I'll be back. Arnold, and I'm lifting the weights, and I'm pumping the iron, and I feel like I'm coming when I'm doing the pumping. And, I'm coming all the time. Arnold Schwarzenegger. What? Arnold! So, that's the thing. Your partner has to recognize the accent that you're doing. Like when I'm sitting here and I'm filming my YouTube channel, and I'm talking to you about the Terminator. And the Terminator, I've come to terminate you. Stick around. I'll be back. I'm the Terminator. Sarah Connor, where are you? Right? And then the person or persons around you have to guess your fun, silly accent, right? So, like, if you were talking to them, and everything was, oh my god, they'd have to guess, oh, what OMG, you are lol talking about. So that seems like a fun one, and you film it, and you slap it off your phone, and you upload it onto the YouTube, and everybody gets a kick out of your fun accent challenge. Okay. There's another one, the 7-second challenge. I don't know what it is. Let me read it to you. You don't need any material. If the person will do it, then he or she is the winner. Otherwise, loser. Loser. Isn't all of that the challenge, right? So if you do it, then you win the challenge. If you don't do it, you're a giant loser. So it's peer pressure primarily to get you to do stupid stuff, which we will film on our phone, our GoPro, my camera, whatever, my DSLR, and we'll upload it to YouTube for the world to see you do it. Like light your fart on fire. I guess. One has to perform every task in 7 seconds only. So then it's going to be great fun. So I don't know what it is. If you've got to eat something real fast. And then there's another one. It's called the Chubby Bunny Challenge, where you stuff chubby bunnies or like chicks or like peeps or like marshmallows into your mouth. And in your mouth is full. Chubby bunny, chubby bunny. And you got to say chubby bunny, which if you just stuff a bunch of stuff in your mouth and you say chubby bunny, you're going to spit that stuff out because it's air leaving from your stuffed cheeks in your mouth, right? But if you chew it up, you're going to have all kinds of chewed gag shoot out of your mouth. But it has the potential to be cute and fun and funny. Chubby bunny, right? And I'm sure it's based on the cuteness and funness of the participants. If you got somebody that just loves eating marshmallows and stuffs their face full of marshmallows, and it's like you got Jabba the Hutt doing the chubby bunny, yeah, it could get a bit scary, right? But that seems to be going around the YouTube. The Chubby Bunny Challenge, right? What's the other one? There's the Brain Freeze Challenge, right? So the Brain Freeze Challenge is when you fill up your bathtub with ice water. Right? And this one was sorta, because people did it in showers and bathrooms. The Light Yourself on Fire Challenge. Remember? So we did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and then we did the Tide Pod Challenge, and people were eating Tide Pods and getting sick to where they made a national statement. Don't do the Tide Pod Challenge. And then they did the Light Yourself on Fire. So you take some flammable, and it could be lighter fluid, it could be nail polish, it could be any type of fluid that was flammable or gel. And you had these mutton heads lighting it on their bodies and coming up in flames. In flames. Screaming, oh my God! And the fire alarm goes off because there's skin and hair that's burning. Put Johnny out! Oh my God, put him out! What did you expect was going to happen? How about before you do the Light Yourself on Fire Challenge, you light something else on fire to see how it goes? And when you go, and it's like the Gasoline on Fire Challenge, which, remember, like the after school specials and all that, listen kids, never light gasoline on fire. It's highly explosive and flammable. Some chemicals, like gas, aren't a slow burning or flammable material. They're explosively flammable. And there's a giant fireball, right? And when that occurs, you have a flash and it burns hair, it burns mucous membranes, it superficially, which is like a first or second degree burn to the skin, where you'll have blistering and reddening and maybe even mild charring. Third degree burns, as we all know, is when it's black. It's burned and the skin layers are dead. And you need skin grafts to repair that junk. You're toast. But you had these kooky cats that were putting like lighter fluid and then burning everything and setting off smoke alarms and running around the house, even though they did it in the shower, because they thought they were going to turn the shower on to turn it off. And as we all know, water and many of those materials don't mix. So spraying water on it just spreads the material around that's burning. That's why you have foam in your flame or in your fire, what the hell? You know what I mean? Fire extinguishers. They don't use water or liquid anymore. They use a foam because it has to suffocate the flame, right? Remove the air. Oh, what are these children doing these days? What do they know? So, the freeze, what's it called? It's called the brain freeze challenge. All right, so you got the brain freeze challenge. In the brain freeze challenge, you fill, and I think there's been other challenges like this. I remember seeing them. You fill the bathtub up with water and then ice. And then you immerse yourself into the bathtub. You climb in the bathtub. And then you gotta sit in the bathtub and someone asks you questions that you have to give the right answer for before you can get out of the bathtub. So it can be really mean. Like if you know the person that you're putting in the bathtub is not really good in math, and you stick them in the bathtub and it's ice water, so it's like 45, 50 degree water, it's freezing. And they have their shorts on or the bikini and they're like, and you go, hey, what's the square root of 254? They're not gonna figure that out. So of course, it leads to some zany occurrences where you get people that are getting freezing cold and they can't answer any questions and everyone laughs. But you gotta be careful with that one because as we always state, cold water, extreme cold water, and you know somebody's gonna push the limit. They're gonna put like 4 bags of ice and a little bit of water. So now you're gonna have like 40, 38 degree water, and they're gonna stick somebody in there and they're gonna be mean about it. And this individual's gonna get hypothermia or have some kind of like, you know, cold water, ice water shock, where the body goes into some kind of shock and then, oh my God, my heart stops. Hey, answer a question when your heart's not pumping. Yeah, it doesn't work. So it's a fun challenge, but that has a labor of danger. Much like maybe the Tide Pod challenge or lighting yourself on fire challenge. But then the next challenge, and it went around and my son did it, right? And it was the cinnamon challenge where you had to eat spoonfuls of cinnamon. And look, man, cinnamon's a spice, right? That when you grind it up, it's really fine powder. That kind of crap doesn't go down your palate well. So of course you're gonna lead to choking and spitting giant chunks of cinnamon out. But what you don't want it to lead to is choking to death or some kind of inhalation into your esophagus, your air tube, where it actually causes some kind of major duress and potential death, right? Or lack of blood flow and air to your lungs and then, you know, to your brain, and bad things happen. I've seen some of them, they look pretty funny, people spitting, you know, cinnamon all over the place, and you don't, you know, I would not say to do the cinnamon challenge. There's another one, it's called the water challenge, where you drink a gallon of water, and then there's milk challenge, where you drink a bunch of milk, right? A whole gallon of milk. Don't do those. I mean, they're out there, they can be humorous. I wouldn't state to do some of those silly challenges because they can be harmful and hurtful, right? There's the bottle flip challenge, right? We've seen that all over the internet. And not only that, I think there are some people that have done major videos. I saw some kids, it was a family, and they were flipping, a kid flipped 4 water bottles, and they'd land on the table. People have flipped really giant water bottles, like I'm talking the things at your office, the giant water containers, that weigh like 40 pounds, flip that, right? And it's pretty cool. And it took over the internet as a rage, right? The flipping challenge. Okay, seems pretty cool. There's the other one where it's the don't laugh challenge, right? So you gotta sit there and somebody does funny stuff and you've gotta stay serious. And that's been a challenge forever. We've seen pieces of that all the time on any type of film, right? You can go back to any TV and you'd have a contestant or someone on a show that was some kind of entertainment or variety or whatever show, talk show, and you didn't want them to laugh, right? So they do funny stuff and you had to try to stay serious with the stone cold face. And without touching maybe. Here's another weird challenge. It's called the touching challenge. You blindfold someone and then you take their hand and put it on a body part and they have to identify it. This is where these kind of challenges go bad or south. With children, and children it's I don't know. It's not really defined because a child can actually be like a 23, 24, 25-year-old. They can actually act like children, right? A fully grown adult that's doing childlike things. Objective, subjective, right? So what are children? But you get into some very speculative, silly, and then hurtful, maybe not harmful, but hurtful things. By blindfolding somebody and then having them touch something on you, some body part, which can then become offensive, and now you've crossed lines and ethics and morals. For the most part, though, if you set some basic rules, you can do some funny stuff, right? So, like you put their finger on your elbow, and they have to identify it blindfolded. You put your finger on your earlobe, their finger on your earlobe, and they have to identify it. Your belly button, right? To the tip of your nose, right? So that can be cute and fun if it's managed, right? The touchy challenge. Jimmy Fallon does a lot of this stuff. He's got the social media and he's got the pulse of the internet. He did one, and I can't remember who it was with him. It was the Whisper Challenge. What's the Whisper Challenge? You put your Beats by Dr. Dre or your headphones or whatever, or you put earplugs, or you have someone plug their ears, and then they can't hear your speech, but they can see you, and you talk to them, and they have to guess while you whisper what you're saying to them by reading your lips. And they have to reply. Do you know what I said? What did I say? And that can get quite fun or funny because they have to read your lips and interpret what you're saying to them when they can't hear it. So that one can get fun and enjoyable and maybe silly, right? But there's a bazillion of these challenges on YouTube, on the internet, on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever. And they trend all the time and they change all the time. But have you ever done one? Have you done one? Have you uploaded it? Have you and your friends done one? My boys have done one, and I'm sure some of them, because I find the remnants on the garage floor, in the sink in the kitchen, empty soda cans all over the place, punctured, soda sprayed everywhere, whatever, all over the carpet upstairs, empty food cartons, missing spices like cinnamon, no more milk in the fridge, the whole gallons of milk gone. They've done them. I don't know if they've filmed them, uploaded them. They may have. But I've considered that. And I'm sure some of them would be viral. They'd be funny and they'd be hits. They'd be more viral than anything that I've ever put out on my channel. Mostly boring, too truthful, not really interesting topics that nobody really wants to hear. About politics, finance, and the current events of today, or even about MMA. There should be, an MMA challenge, a Fight Club challenge, which I think there was, or there are. So the boys have a sleepover 2 weeks ago. I'm up in the bedroom. I walk into the bedroom. From our bedroom, you can look out over our driveway into the front yard. It's 10:30 or 11 o'clock on a Friday or a Saturday. Or maybe it was spring break. It was a day off. I don't know. The ring of 4 boys are out front. 2 of the boys are going at it. It's Fight Club challenge. So they're fighting out front. And the other 2 are watching them and filming and running around. And Tracy's like, yeah, the boys are having Fight Club out front. I probably should film that and then just click the button that says minors involved. I have their approval. Nothing questionable. There were no suspicious or unsavory acts performed, harmful or otherwise. Right? And then I'd probably get some hits on some of these videos. But yeah, kids. Kids do the darndest things. Wasn't that a TV show? And then it turned into bloopers. Yeah, right? So maybe that's next. I don't know. Maybe I'll film them doing some challenges on the Dave DY show. We will have to see. I'm not really into the YouTube challenges. If you are, let me know. I'll put a link in to show your videos that are out there for your zany YouTube challenges. That's all I got. Maybe we'll think of our own. Give me any of your feedback. Comment, like, subscribe, share. And, we'll see where this thing goes. If anywhere, if ever. I don't know if I'll do a challenge. Maybe I will. I got to think that one through. That's my content for now. Thanks for watching the Dave DY Show. Dave DY Show out.